It's almost Halloween, and what better time than right now to rank all of the big three horror slasher franchises? Today I'm going to be ranking all Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th movies from the worst to the best. And let's get started. Coming in at number 33 for me, no surprise here, is Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. This movie is an absolute piece of shit. I mean, like, when you have scenes like Freddy dressed up as the Wicked Witch of the West saying, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too," or him driving a bus, or even the kills in this movie are lame as hell. The video game Power Glove kill. Mm-mm. No, no. And of course, the whole thing about and the whole thing about with the 3D effects, like toward like literally at the end of the movie, they tacked on these cheap ass 3D scenes at the end, and it looked god awful, and um and look. So yeah, every single time I try to talk about Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and this movie is just an absolute piece of garbage movie, and it ruined my set, and it pretty much um uh, and it pretty much ruined my second favorite slasher franchise of all time, Freddy. But this is why, of course, we of course call Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare the seed of Chucky of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and that's a fact. So yeah, coming in at number 33 for me, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Screw that movie. Coming in at number 32 for me is going to be Friday the 13th Part 8. Jason takes a long ass boat ride to Manhattan. Because calling this movie Jason Takes Manhattan is subscribing to false advertisement. Because the title of the movie and the plot synopsis would pretty much put you guys under the impression that that Jason goes to New York and takes over the city with his own brand of massive carnage. And, but guess what? No, all you get in the movie is pretty much the entire movie is set on a damn boat, and they couldn't do the full concept. Well, then don't call your movie Jason Takes Manhattan and lie to us. The only three shining moments in this movie is the scene where Jason is in Times Square, kicks over the boom box, and the one guy says, "You a dead meat slime bag." So yeah, that scene the scene where he kills the boxer character of Julian, where he knocks his head off in one punch. That kill is awesome, and of course the kill where it drowns the one guy in the bucket. Yeah, and you have these really weird as hell scenes where Jason's like turned back into a kid with toxic like toxic sludge through the sewer, and it's like, what the hell? However, though, above all else, guys, the movie is just boring. And aside from the boxer kill and the kill where he's drowning the one guy in the bucket, all the other kills are pretty much off screen. So, our cutaway, the MPAA, man, back in the late 80s. So yeah, Friday the 13th Part 8. Um, Not that many redeeming qualities to this movie. Um, of course, Kane Hodder, of course, still did a good job with with his with his portrayal of Jason in the movie. But other than that, Friday the 13th Part 8 is a big piece of garbage. Coming in at my number 31 is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This movie is boring. There is nothing worse than having a movie be bad versus having a movie that is also just straight up boring. You had Halloween 4 that brought the franchise back after so many years, so much rejuvenated faith and in the fandom for the Halloween franchise. And then you got Halloween 5. And it does the thing that just pisses you off, and it makes the oh yeah, you know that great ending in Halloween 4 where the evil of Michael was passed on to his niece Jamie? Well, and, and it was revealed that she killed her foster mom, and you had Dr. Loomis screaming at the top of the stairs going, "No, no." Yeah, you know that great ending? Nah, it doesn't exist anymore. She simply just, attacked her foster mom. Yeah, no. Um, you have one of the better final girls in the Halloween franchise with Rachel that just gets unceremoniously killed off. Michael's mask is embarrassing. The kills are completely bloodless, which is strange as hell for a Halloween movie. And and you have one of the worst characters in horror movie history with Tina. Tina. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Why does this fucking movie exist? Fucking why? Coming in at my number 30 for me is going to be Halloween Resurrection. Same thing with Halloween 5. Um, takes a gigantic crap on everything that came before in Halloween H2O. The only thing that puts Resurrection above Halloween 5, however, is that Halloween Resurrection is not boring. I do think that the idea of this whole found footage styled like Halloween movie for the now it's not now the whole movie isn't found footage, of course, but but the segments that are actually worked, and you definitely do have one of the better Michael portrayals from Brad Loree. He definitely does a good job, and some of the kills are pretty good, like the kill where he squeezes the one guy's head and his head just snaps. Like that kill is good, or the kill where you have him stapling the guy with 3 knives to the wall. Like that kill is great. However, you have the opening of the movie that, like I said, undoes the great ending of H2O, where it's revealed that Michael didn't really get his head chopped off by Laurie. He just switched clothes with another paramedic, and you're like, wait, what? And then Laurie Strode gets unceremoniously killed off. You guys see a pattern here? You guys starting to see a pattern? Yeah, exactly. And then you have the whole thing with Busta Rhymes in the movie, and like him doing karate on Michael getting defeated by getting electrocuted in his midsection, where it's like, come on, guys, really? So yeah, Halloween Resurrection makes the same mistakes as Halloween 5 by ignoring by making the ending of the previous movie pointless, and the whole thing with Busta Rhymes and him getting him get, Michael being treated like a bitch by Busta Rhymes. Yeah, because that's what we all want to see in a freaking Halloween movie. Halloween Resurrection was meh. Coming in at my number 29 for me is going to be Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. This movie, now, this movie pretty much has one really good kill scene, and that is, of course, the motorcycle scene with Dan. That motorcycle kill was one of the better kills for sure in the franchise, and and the idea of Freddy haunting the nightmares of Alice's unborn child that is growing inside of her, that is a good idea for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but the movie really doesn't do anything with that. It's just you have the beginning of the full-on comedian Freddy, where he is just no longer taken seriously. I mean, come on, lines like and of course you have the whole you have the two other kills in here that are just completely garbage, like the one kill where he just force feeds the one girl to death. Definitely a pretty messed up. A messed up kill for sure, but a pretty disgusting one. And then you have the other kill that's pretty much like the full on the comic book style with and with. However, though, that's of course scratching the surface on the Freddy's Dead stuff that I don't like and despise. And then, of course, you add the ending Freddy gets defeated by freaking baby vomit. Freaking baby vomit. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 5. This was the beginning of the end for Freddy. For sure, just no longer being taken seriously as a threat, just full-on comedian jokester. And just like with Chucky, I do not like it when Freddy is like that. Because obviously you guys know Chucky and Freddy are my boys. And when they are both full-on comedians, not being taken seriously as a threat, I'm sorry, there's just no investment whatsoever. So yeah, Nightmare 5, The Dream Child. Nah. Coming in at my number 28 for me is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Rob Zombie fans, I do not like this movie whatsoever. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. First of all, you have the stupid redneck. You have the stupid redneck kind of P-word dialogue that I can't say. Yeah, you have the disgusting dialogue in Rob Zombie's in both of his Halloween movies, where you have two guys in an ambulance that are like on the that are pretty much talking about on the screwing dead girls' bodies and you're like, and then they hit a cow and it's like, what? What am I supposed to laugh at that shit, Rob Zombie? Hell no. Aside from Tyler Maine's performance as Michael and the kills, uh, like the one kill where he stomps the one guy's head in, or the kill with Octavia Spencer, yeah, where he stabs her to death in the during the hospital section of the movie. Aside from those, this movie, it just it's just you're like, Rob Zombie, you and your damn dialogue. Like, it's mainly Rob Zombie's writing that that pretty much makes you mad and pisses you off about his movies. So, and of course, you have the ending to where Michael kills Loomis. He makes the gigantic mistake of having Michael talk, which, yeah, no, rule number one of the silent horror villain, bitch. Never have your, never have them speak. Never. And the only other good thing about both of the Rob Zombie movies is Brad Dourif as Sheriff Brackett. So, so yeah, there's one more positive that I can say. But overall, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, nah. Speaking of which, 27, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Um, this one pretty much, first of all, him fully going into Michael's backstory and showing us how he became who he is. Epic mistake, Rob. Epic mistake, Rob Zombie. And you have the whole thing opening 40 minutes like where it's like where, oh, Michael was bullied, or oh, his sister didn't take him trick-or-treating and so that's why and I'm like, do we really need these questions answered? And then, of course, you have the freaking dialogue in this one, too, where the one guy goes, I'm going to crawl over there and I'm going to skull you know what out of you. I mean, who talks like that? Seriously. Who in their right mind talks like that? Like, you get into the whole middle section of the movie with the asylum, and this is the most biggest missed opportunity because if you're gonna go back and retell this story on the they didn't even go into the whole on the like a relationship that on the um what was the guy's name again on the Michael McDowell, yeah. Michael McDowell's version of Loomis and Michael. They didn't really do that for any of the middle section of the movie. But then once you get into the third, into pretty much the third section of the movie, where it's pretty much Rob Zombie's take on the iconic John Carpenter classic on steroids. Aside from the dialogue in that section, that is the more watchable section of the movie for me personally. And of course, like I said, Tyler Maine's portrayal of Michael, he does a really good job. The kills are really good, and Rob Zombie's first Halloween as well, like the kill where where he kills Joe Grizzly, bitch, by slamming him against the stall, and like that kill was really good. Or the scene where he breaks out of the where he breaks out of the asylum, and he literally grabs the TV and smashes it over the one guy's head. Like that kill was great and cool. And or when he drowns the one guy in the sink, that kill was great. So yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween, I will say, does have a more watchable side to it than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Still a movie that I do not like at all. Coming in at my number 26 for me. Coming in at my number 26 for me is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 remake. Now, I do think that the remake of the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street is it doesn't really offend me the way that something like Nightmare on Elm Street 5 or Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare offend me on. However, if you're gonna do a remake, especially to a beloved classic, they don't do anything new or different. All they do is just copy and paste the same stuff that we saw in 1984. Freddy coming out of the wall in really shitty looking CGI. Freddy's glove coming up through Nancy's bathtub. Again, all of the you have the characters in here that are pretty much just names from some of the more iconic sequels. Like you have the one guy in here, Jesse, obviously making a reference, pretty much a nod to the audience for Nightmare 2. You have Rooney Mara, an Oscar-winning caliber actress playing Nancy, and throughout the production of the movie, like she did not care, like she did not want to do, like, well then, hey, Rooney Mara, I got news for you. If you didn't want to be in the movie, don't take the job, don't take the paycheck, because you are crapping over a completely iconic character with Nancy. Hell, it would have been way cooler if they would have pulled a gigantic switcheroo on us, and Rooney Mara Nancy was the first character to get killed off in the 2010 remake, and Katie Cassidy, the girl that played Chris in the movie, pretty much took over because the only other thing that I've seen Katie Cassidy be in, which is of course the CW show Arrow, and she was pretty bad in that show. However, here in the Nightmare 2010 remake, she's actually pretty good. But and of course you had Jackie O'Haley, which he does do a good job as Freddy. Yeah. Yes, but the script is the one thing that lets him down. It's not Jackie O'Haley's fault. You have the burnt up makeup on him that looks like Swiss cheese. And they make the gigantic mistake to do this whole mystery storyline regarding what, Freddy's innocence. Was he somebody that was actually was he somebody that was actually diddling these kids, or did the kids make this whole story up? And then guess what? The mystery completely falls flat on its face, because if they would have had the balls to go there, you would have been like, that would have been different. That would have been unique. But they, oh yeah, you know that damn thing that we've been teasing you with for 90 minutes? Yeah, yeah, screw that. He's a child diddler. Which definitely does bring up another gigantic problem with the movie. I know there has always been this whole thing with Freddy and this whole, kind of like on the, like in the original movie where he wags his tongue, and that's always been subtext. It's always been something that has always been in the background, and the, and they did not bring that to the forefront. And what did the people of the 2010 remake do? They brought that over to the forefront, and it's like, hello. Despite how messed up it is to say this, the damn horror villains are the reason we go to watch these movies. Yes, despite them doing the most, you know, uh, well, for one, these are fictional people. That it's not like there's an actual, you know, uh, for one, these are fictional people, and for two, like I said, these are the like I said, we go to these movies because of the villain. They are the star of the show. They're the reason we're there. It's kind and and it's kind of hard to do that for somebody that's, you know, doing things to kids. But if you do know. And even the way that Freddy gets defeated at the end of the movie, really, just a slit to the throat. We have seen Freddy being set on, set on fire, blown up, seen his own reflection, have the souls of all the children that he has inhabited rip out of his body. We've seen, and the only thing that you can come up with is him just getting paper cutter to the throat. Nightmare 2010 remake. You truly have no new ideas. Screw you, movie. Screw you. Number 25 is probably going to get me in trouble. This is a movie that has dropped quite a bit for me in my ranking. And that is the original Friday the 13th. Now, look, you can't deny this movie's legacy. You cannot deny the fact that this movie was definitely a landmark in the horror slasher genre. You cannot deny the iconicness that Betsy Palm, that, and you can't deny that the whole thing with Betsy Palmer at the end of the movie was pretty, and of course, the Tom Savini special effects were definitely outstanding for the time. I'm sure. Again, I wasn't born in the 80s or the 90s. Aside from that, though, the original Friday the 13th sucks. Like it's kind of shocking that this movie created the franchise that it did. Because you, be, because on the, um, because there's a lot of parts during the original Friday the 13th movie that are really boring, like really boring, like a scene where like they have a full 2 minute or so long scene where Alice is making coffee, or you have the scene where characters are playing Monopoly or damn, like seriously, like, and like you're just waiting for the next kill scene to come. Even the reveal of Mrs. Voorhees, like you have, and I, like you do have a whodunit aspect nature to this. However, the fun of a whodunit movie like this is that you're trying to pick and guess like which character could be the killer, like which character could it be, and then random old lady shows up in the last 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, iconic reveal, yeah, but it's like we don't know who the hell this girl is. She just shows up. There's your killer. And it's like, okay. Uh, so yeah, the original Friday the 13th, aside from the kills and aside from the kill, aside from the kills with like the iconic Kevin Bacon kill scene, of course, that kill is definitely iconic. Aside aside from the kills in the movie, it kind the original Friday is boring. Number 24. It's gonna be Halloween 6: The Curse of Michael Myers. This movie is this movie is a bit of a mixed bag because on one end because you have a really great Michael performance by James P. Wilbur. You have a much better mask than something like Halloween 5, that's for sure. You have really great kill scenes like the entire scene where he just goes to town on all those doctors and nurses at the clinic or wherever it was, the hospital. That was awesome. Like that was awesome. The kill with or the kill with the one character of where he electrocutes him to death. Or however, this movie makes the gigantic mistake of killing off Jamie Lloyd in the first few minutes of the movie. I mean, cool kill. Kill wise, it's a really good kill where he where he shoves her onto this on like this garden tool that pretty much and then he turns it on and it just whoosh, 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 like cuts her up. I mean cool kill, but you get rid of Jamie Lloyd within the first few minutes of Halloween 6. Like, what the heck? And then you have and this was, of course, Paul Rudd's first movie role. Of course, Paul Rudd. Of course, we know him now for Ant-Man. This was, of course, Paul Rudd's first big movie appearance, and so this movie does have a legacy for that, I guess. However, though, the whole thing where with this whole cult controlling Michael and the whole thing with the Men in Black, and it's revealed that it was Dr. Wayne, like the one guy that we saw at the beginning of the original Halloween, like what the hell is going on with that? Nobody, no, like no. Like nobody controls Michael. Michael marches to the beat of his own drum. Nobody, controls him. And of course, Donald Pleasence, God rest his soul. This was, of course, Donald Pleasence's final performance as Dr. Loomis. So rest in peace to him. And so yeah, and so yeah. On one end, you have a movie that is a bit of a mixed bag for me, but however, Halloween 6 definitely one of the at least but still forever Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, still a better um a little bit more of a tolerable entry to watch for sure, despite the problems that I just stated. Number 23. Number 23 is gonna be number 23 is Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Now, Nightmare 4, um, you do have a really great, you do have a really great final girl in here with, um, Alice, and, you do have, and of course you have the three returning characters from Nightmare 3 Dream Warriors, Joey, Kincaid, and Kristen, not played by Patricia Arquette, played by somebody literally named Tuesday Night, and you go, what the hell kind of actress? His name is Tuesday Night. Like, I don't know. I find that pretty funny. Well, and you have the kills. Now, yes, the movie does do an Alien 3 where it gets rid of, where, it pretty, and as well as, Paul. Now, yes, the movie does do an Alien 3 and pretty much gets rid of, Joey Kincaid and Kristen within the first few minutes. Yeah, yeah, and you think that wow, they seriously wasted the three Dream Warrior characters that were left from Nightmare 3, which I get though. Of course, you have a really good performance in here by Robert Englund as Freddy. This was not yet. This was this was of course not yet the this was of course not yet the full on not yet the full on comedian jokester that we had in Nightmare 5 and Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. This was this was still the dark humor as far as one liners go, like where, and of course um you have the kill scenes that were really cool and very very inventive as well. Like you have the one kill where he sucks the one girl's air out of her because obviously she has like a really bad like I think it was asthma I think she had. But yeah, you have that kill. You have the one girl that gets her arms like bent and like she gets turned into a cockroach because obviously her fear is cockroaches. And so yeah, that kill is really good and memorable. Um, you have the whole resurrection of Freddy, which yeah, I will admit that is pretty stupid. At the beginning of Nightmare 4, where a dog literally pees fire, literally pisses fire, which you're like, what in the hell? But yeah, Nightmare 4 is still a pretty good Nightmare movie. It's still a pretty good Elm Street sequel, and I love the way that Freddy gets defeated as well, where he um wh- um where he's showing his reflection and all the souls of the previous Elm Street children that he has inhabited start ripping out of his body and tearing him up. That defeat is still really great. So yeah, Nightmare 4 Dream Master, pretty good sequel, despite a few issues. Coming in at my number 22 for me is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. This movie is a full-on this movie is a full-on like there's not really much of any story here. Of course, Friday the 13th is not really known for its story at all. Um you have the whole thing in this movie to where it's not really Jason that's the one going around and doing all the killing. It's really a paramedic Roy. However, once you do get past that, you still at least he still at least has, looks like Jason, because he still has like the hockey mask and all that stuff. And so I really, wouldn't put it. You you have some pretty good kills in here. Well, like where the one guy that gets the belt or whatever it is, like um or whatever the thing is that he gets and I think the one. Well, it wasn't really like a belt. It was more like um I forgot the name of it, but it was pretty much where he gets his eyes skewered shut, and then and then um uh, and then Roy pretty much tightens the thing until it snaps and it breaks. Like that kill was cool, or the one kill, where the um, um uh, or the one kill where the guy's on his motorbike and the machete comes in and whack takes his head off. Like that was pretty funny. And you had the ending of the movie to where it was to believe that Tommy Jarvis, Jason's nemesis from Friday Part 4, and as well as this movie and Friday 6 was going to take up the mantle of Jason. However, thankfully that didn't happen. But yeah, Friday 5, despite not really despite not having Jason in it and having a pair and having a paramedic pretty much dressed up like Jason, still a good Friday movie. Still, as far as a as far as like a Friday the 13th movie that it's not trying to be try, trying to that is more trying to have more fun with the concept. Yeah, Friday 5 is pretty good. Now, where was I? Number 21, number 20. I think I was at 20, wasn't I? Yeah, 20. Coming in at my number 20 for me is going to be coming in at my number 20 for me is going to be Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. And just like with Friday the 13th, Part 5, New Beginning, I completely and 100% understand that people that are massive Friday the 13th fans do not like this movie. Uh, However, this movie's pretty fun. Because it's the one movie in the franchise that just goes for it and just has a blast with it and does whatever it wants. Yes, Jason's barely in this movie. He's in the beginning of the movie. He shows back up at the end of the movie, and the rest of the movie is pretty much him as a spirit, pretty much possessing other people. Yeah, it gets weird. Yeah, this movie gets full on weird. And yeah, this movie gets weird, and but you have some really great kills in the movie. Mainly, of course, the one um where he kills the couple in the tent, and then like slice like right down the like right down like right in the back, like upwards, like that kill, like really really great. Um, but of course, the thing that the movie is known for is the final 5 seconds where Freddy's glove comes up, pulls Jason's mask down into hell, and of course letting us know that Freddy versus Jason would finally be happening. Well, in 10 years, 1993, 2003. Yeah. So yeah, Jason Goes to Hell, Final Friday, pretty good movie. Number 19 for me is going to be on the Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Now, this movie is it's a really good Friday. It's a good Halloween movie. This is the This was, of course, where you had Jamie Lee Curtis returning for the first time in the Halloween franchise since Halloween 2, 1981. And yes, she is traumatized and all that, but it's definitely believable. And you have some pretty good kills in the movie where now granted though they are bloodless, but still some pretty good kills. Like like of course mainly the two of course are kills that we've already seen. Stabs and stab to the back, lifting the one guy up with one hand and then dropping him. But but yeah though and then you have that final showdown at the end of the movie between Laurie and Michael, and it's a really great showdown. And then you get that badass ending, that resurrection completely fucked up and ruined. We don't talk about resurrection. We don't talk about resurrection. We just act like that movie does not exist. But yeah, you have that great ending to where Laurie takes the ambulance. Michael gets up, hits him with and then they go tumbling off a cliff. And then however, thankfully and then you have Michael pretty much reaching out to Laurie, and then Laurie's like, nope, screw this, and then whack takes his head off with the axe, and then you get that kind of thing, and that is it. That is it. That is my preferred Halloween timeline. 1978, Halloween 2, 1981, and H2O. Nothing else happens. Halloween Resurrection, you don't exist. Coming in at my number coming in at 18 for me is gonna be Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now, Freddy's Revenge is a little bit of a weird movie to talk about because this follows a completely different character. Jesse and there's some um and there's some pretty subtle, you know, um subtext. I would just simply put it at that. Yeah, subtext. However, it's not really so sub. However, though, you do have a really good However, though, you do have a really good Freddy performance, of course, by Robert England. You have you have some you have some pretty good kill scenes. Like, of course, you have the pole massacre scene, which doesn't really make much of any sense because wait, were those kids all dreaming, or were they like were those kids all dreaming at at the pool party, or like what's going on? Like, doesn't make logical sense, but still a cool scene for you know sequence, of course. And of course, the ending of the movie where you have the final girl on the Lisa uh yeah, it was pretty stupid where you actually see her kissing Freddy on the lips, and you're like, what the fuck? Eh. And then of course fire, fire out of nowhere, by the way, yeah, out of nowhere comes and like burns Freddy up again, just like how we saw at the end of the original movie. But and you're like, yeah, well, this is weird. Um, the whole thing about Freddy needing like Jesse's body and like in order to like come into the real world, like that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because hello, your your whole deal is that you don't need somebody else's body to come into the real world. You're supposed to conjure up enough on the like fear as possible as evident uh, for people to be like afraid of you and all that stuff. Like, you don't need like somebody else's body to come into the real world. Like that didn't make much of any sense. However, for what it is though, Nightmare 2 is still an okay, it's still a pretty good sequel. So that's why it's pretty high for me. Coming in at my number, let me see, where was I? 19, 18, 17. Let's see, am I at 17? I think I'm at 17 now. Or wait, am I at 16? 17, 16. Let's see, 19, 8. Man, it's hard to keep track of counting sometimes, guys. Coming in at my number, screw it, I'm at 16. Coming in at my number 16 for me is going to be Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now, yes, this movie does not have Michael in it. And of course, it was a big shame just calling this movie Halloween 3, because if it was just called Season of the Witch, maybe more people would have shown up to the theater back in when did this come out? 83, 88? No, not 88. That was when Halloween 4 released. 82. Yeah, 82. That's when Halloween 3 released. But I mean, still still a good Halloween movie that does do something different. Um, which um, which which I don't have any, emotional, ties to the Halloween franchise like I do with Nightmare on Elm Street or Child's Play. And therefore, I of course can appreciate when something like when you get something like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, or like Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday, or something like Jason X, to where it goes fully out there and different with it. And so, yeah, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, of course, you get that iconic song of Happy, Happy Halloween, 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 Happy, Happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Like like the movie feels like Halloween. It has that Halloween atmosphere. There's kids. You have of course kids being killed by like this by like when they put their Halloween masks on, like you have like spiders crawling in like these kids' masks and stuff. Yeah, I know it's pretty weird and out there, especially for something like a Halloween movie. But like, yeah, this of course tried to get away from Michael and tried to go for more of like an anthology route, which I can appreciate. I definitely can appreciate that. And it seems like more and more people have come around to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch because of that. And so yeah. And so yeah, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Pretty good. Coming in at my number 15 for me, is going to be Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Now, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, technically, it doesn't really take place within the Nightmare canon. But however, though, you have this was pretty much a this was pretty much Scream before Scream. This was pretty much a taking this whole like taking this to where like the Nightmare movies were like actual movies and like and pretty much where you had like all the actual like actors in the movie, like you had you had Heather Langenkamp in here playing herself, of course. Also Nancy. You had Wes Craven in here, of course. You have Robert Englund in the movie, of course. Actually playing himself again, as well as Freddy. You had Gage from Pet Sematary in the movie, playing as Nancy's son in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. So yeah, that's a plus. And and the Freddy that we do get in the movie, first of all, I like the different look that he has. Like he had like he has like a trench coat and like full on like 5 blade gloves on the end of his hand instead of 4. So yeah, that was definitely something different and unique. And and this was and, and this was of course Wes Craven trying to get back to that whole dark and scary Freddy. Like no more comedian. This is full on dark, scary Freddy again. And I love that. Like of course the scene where he comes out of the claw. No, not, and by the way, not a gay joke. Because it was actually high, in the closet, and he busts out the closet and goes, "Miss me," like, like, Like that right there, that scene alone showed you that the full-on comedian that we saw in Nightmares 5 and Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare was not existent in this movie. But yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, really good nightmare movie. And two kills that we have, yes, aren't we didn't really get any creative kills. We just got a recreation of the Tina death from the original Nightmare movie, and we got and we got a recreation of Dan's death from Nightmare on Elm Street 5 Dream Child. But still, really good movie. Again, so yeah, New Nightmare, pretty good nightmare movie. Coming in at my number, let's see, am I at 15, 14, I think? I think I'm at 14. Yeah, I'm at 14. Coming in at my number 14 for me is going to be Halloween Ends. I know. Look, guys, Halloween Ends. I liked the bold and out there uniqueness that Halloween Ends has. Now, was this a good idea to close out the David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, Blumhouse Halloween trilogy? No. However, I still do like and enjoy the approach that it took, where we're following this character on the Corey, and it's been 4 years later. And you have Michael that is seemingly disappeared, and it's revealed that he was living in the sewer. Yeah, kind of like Pennywise. And of course the beginning. And of course, you have the beginning of this movie, where now, yes, Corey didn't mean to do it; it was on accident. But Corey does kill a kid on accident. Again, he probably didn't mean to do it, but the kid did lock him in the closet. So yeah, Corey pretty much and again, and you see it. You see the kid, being smacked in the face by the door, and then whoosh, flat on the ground. So, you see, Terrifier 3 controversial people. Halloween Ends did it as well. So yeah. And you have the whole thing with Michael and Corey kind of teaming up for a while to kill some people, because Michael pretty much looked into Corey's eyes and pretty much saw like all the trauma and stuff that he has been put through, because obviously him being bullied by the band kids and being thrown off the bridge. And you have the whole scene, and the kills in the movie are good. Well, the ones that are on screen and the ones that you can see for sure, they're good. Like where the one guy gets stabbed with the screwdriver, or the one kill, or of course the recreation of the iconic Bob kill from the original Halloween, where Michael pins the one girl to the door with his knife, and you have a blowtorch to the face. You have the DJ kill, which was my personal favorite of the movie, where he gets his head smashed in with through the DJ records, and then he gets his tongue cut off. That kill was really great, really gnarly. You had this whole love angle idea that I really didn't care for between Allison and Corey. And and of course you had the ending of the movie to where the whole Corey, the whole entire movie, we're following Corey cutting we're following the character of Corey just for him to stab himself and end himself. I mean, yeah, definitely wasted potential. Definitely wasted potential there, because I would not have done that if I was in charge of Halloween Ends. But hey, that's just me. Of course, just to get to the showdown at the end of the movie between Michael and Laurie. And of course you had that scene that pissed off a lot of diehard Halloween fans, where the scene where Corey and Michael are wrestling down in the sewer, and Corey body slams Michael to the ground and takes his mask off. It says, "You're just a man in a Halloween mask." Yeah, like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh man, a lot of diehard Halloween fans are going to be pissed. But hey, I get it. I understand it if that scene did piss you off. I understand it. And of course, you had the end fight between Michael and Laurie, where he turns the garbage disposer on and is about to put her hand in it, and then Laurie stabs Michael and pushes a refrigerator on him and stabs him in the hand, stabs him in the other hand, gets both of his wrists slit, gets his throat slit, and then thrown into a wood chipper, and it chews him up. And so, yeah, at least this movie had the balls to end it, to actually end, and not cop out and do something stupid like, oh no, Michael actually survived, see you next time. No, they actually had the balls to do it, to end it. Halloween ends, as it says in the title. Well, for now anyway, because we're going to get more Halloween movies in the future. So yeah, Halloween ends. I don't get the hate. I will never understand the hate. Speaking of which, by the way, let me see, where was I? 16, 15, 14. Am I at 13? Am I at 12? Wait, am I at 12? 13? Man, it's hard hard to memorize. Man, how's it that the rest of you guys are able to memorize your counting when you talk for so long? But like, let's see, I think I'm at 13. Oh wait, am I at 12? 13, 12. Screw it, I'm at 13. Coming in at my number 13 for me is going to be, no, wait, I think I'm at number 12 actually. Am I at 12? Let me see. Am I at number 12? Man, it's hard to remember. Especially when you talk for so long, you get lost. Coming in at screw it, I'm at 12. Coming in at my number 12 is going to be Halloween Kills. Aside from the whole mob saying evil dies tonight, and aside from the whole subplot of them thinking that that one of the escaped mental patients is Michael, and despite the fact that the guy looks like Danny DeVito, like 4 foot or so tall, and not like 6 foot, 7 foot. Despite that, this movie's actually pretty damn good. Let's see. You have this movie and first of all, you can watch Halloween 2018 and this movie, and they bleed together so really well, just like Halloween 1978, Halloween 2, 1981. You have really good kills. Like this is in competition with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 for the goriest in the franchise for sure. You have really great kills, like the whole scene where where Michael kills the firefighters, like that. Like despite people not wanting that scene to be in the movie, it was awesome. And I'm glad they stuck to their guts and kept that scene in the movie. But yeah, that was awesome. The scene where he kills the scene where, of course, you have the scene where he kills the two neighbors, one with or so we thought, because the girl that got the tube in her neck survived in Halloween Ends, which, how the hell does that make any sense? She got a tube stabbed in her neck. So, a light tube. So, how the hell does that make sense? But yeah, that was great. Of course, you had the scene where he's just stabbing the one guy on the table and like looks at all the different knives, and you're like, huh, what's going on inside of his head? Is he like trying to figure out like which knife stabs the best? Is he trying to like just it's that childlike kind of like curiosity that Michael has. That was very prevalent in the original 1978 Halloween movie, and they brought that back for this. And the whole thing about him displaying his victims comes back, where he puts all of the where he displays the kids with the silver shamrock masks to where they're all displayed on the playground, or he displays the two Johns, Big John and Little John, on the like in his house, like like that was really cool and really great. Of course, you have the whole scene at the end of the movie with the mob and them, beating the crap out of him and shooting him up and stuff, and then of course Michael gets up and of course slays the entire mob left and right, and then he kills and then he go and then he goes and kills Karen, and of course you have that flashback scene at the beginning of the movie that recreates 1978 and makes it look like the original Halloween beautifully, like very, very well. And so, yeah, Halloween Kills, don't get the hate for it. We'll never understand the hate. And of course, it had to end with that big cliffhanger. Yeah, and again, yes, the movie doesn't have much of a story. It's just Michael is set loose, and that's pretty much all the story you get. However, it's a damn good movie still. Coming in at my number 11 for me is going to be number 11. Let me see. Number 11. Wait. Did I even put ranking in the time? Hang on, guys. Hang on. I gotta go back. Oh, I did put ranked. Thank God. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Just. But yeah, though. Anyway, coming in at my number 11 for me is going to be Halloween 2018. I absolutely loved this movie. This was the first Halloween movie I saw in the theaters, and of course Halloween 2018 is of course the movie that pretty much brought back Halloween and as well as the slasher genre. Because if it wasn't for Halloween 2018, guys, we would not have stuff like the Chucky TV series or the new Scream movies or like we owe Halloween 2018 everything. Because again, if it wasn't for Halloween 2018, we would not have stuff like the new Candyman or that released in 2021 or Megan or the two new Scream movies or the Chucky TV series. But yeah, Halloween 2018, of course, you have Jamie Lee Curtis in here returning to play Laurie Strode once again. And you have James Jude Courtney, who is by far my favorite actor to portray Michael, by far, by a landslide, and has my favorite mask out of the whole franchise. That iconic, 2018, weathered down, aged mask. That is my favorite mask in the franchise. The kills that we get in the movie are really great. Michael killing a kid by snapping his neck and strangling him. In the same movie, you get a scene where he walks right by a baby crib, and you're like, oh no, please don't tell me he kills the baby. But luckily though, he walks right past it. Of course, he won't. Whoa! Notification by Dead by Daylight. What? Okay, that's cool. Obviously, guys, Dead by Daylight's a horror video game. But yeah, though, and of course, you of course have a lot of all the other. You have the really funny character in the movie. The pretty funny black kid in the movie, Julian, where he goes, I would not be up all night with you clipping my nasty ass toenails. Like, see, that's actually funny. Yeah, some of the humor in the movie doesn't really land that well. Like of course, where racist. Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis. However, I still laugh at that. I actually think that that's actually funny. Um, and of course you had and of course, yeah, you had the whole twist with Dr. Sartain um to where he pretty much wanted to um uh, um to where he pretty much wanted to study Michael, and of course he puts on the mask, and he puts on Michael's mask. Now, yes, I will agree, despite how much I love Halloween 2018, that is definitely the worst part of the worst executed like twist, if you want to call it that. Because what did that all of that lead to? All of it led to is just Dr. Sartain getting killed by Michael and him getting his head stomped in. So yeah, what did that twist lead to? Exactly nothing. Pointless. And of course, you had the whole fight scene at the end, which was really great. And definitely the best on the Laurie and Michael fight scene for sure. And and of course, they reshot the ending of Halloween 2018 because the original ending was going to be and you even see a little glimpse of that in the first trailer of exactly what the original ending was going to be. And apparently the original ending was going to be Michael and Laurie having a fight like outside of her house. And of course, this definitely would have come during the scene where after Michael throws Laurie off of the balcony, and after she disappears, and you get that iconic doo-doo-doo piece of music. But yeah, but thankfully though they did reshot the ending to where he gets trapped in the basement, and Laurie pretty much lights her house on fire. Yeah, aside from the Dr. Sartain twist, which I will agree that you did not need that in the movie. Cut that scene out. The movie still would have won. The movie would have flowed better because all of that led to was nothing. Aside from that, the movie is awesome. I do not get the hate at all for the entire Blumhouse Halloween trilogy. So that's my number 11. Coming in at my number 10 for me is going to be. Coming in at my number 10 for me is actually going to be Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Now, yes, I understand, guys, if the MPAA didn't hack down the 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 movie to where to where it doesn't really show much of any of the kills it's still a pretty it's still a pretty damn good Friday the 13th movie. Of course, this was Kane Hodder and his first portrayal of Jason out of 4. Of course, this movie, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, The Final Friday, and Jason X. And so yeah, Kane Hodder does have a really great performance in the movie. And of course, this is the best looking Jason, especially when he gets unmasked. He's like full on like decrepit looking from, of course, being under the lake at the end of Part 6. And you have one of the best kills in the movie with the sleeping bag where he grabs the one girl in the sleeping bag and smacks her one time against the tree and and you have a pretty good final girl with Tina. However, all the other characters are pretty disposable, of course. Says a Friday the 13th movie. And of course, you have the really great showdown at the end of the movie between Jason and Tina, where she pretty much has telekinetic powers, just like Carrie, only not all that interesting of a character as Carrie, but still one of the better Friday. But still one of the better Friday the 13th final girls, at least in my opinion. And so Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, pretty damn good Friday movie. Coming in at my number 9 for me is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Now, Friday the 13th, Part 6 is a really good installment in the franchise. Of course, you have the return of Tommy Jarvis, and of course you have a really great resurrection scene with Jason, where he gets resurrected by pretty much lightning, pretty much bringing him back to life. And of course this is full on zombie Jason. And of course, you do have some really great kills in the movie, um, like you have the one girl that gets her head turned around like 180 degrees. Like that kill was pretty great, and you have a really great showdown at the end of the movie between Jason and Tommy Jarvis. And so, yeah. The, and of course, you have that iconic Alice Cooper song, of course, in the movie. Yeah, but he's back. Is the man behind the mask. Really great song. And so, yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Really great Friday sequel. Coming in at my number 8 for me is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Now, despite the fact that this movie just drags and drags and drags until at least the last, few minutes, or like last hour or half hour, I would say. Aside from that, this movie is very, very good. Of course, you have this was of course you have Richard Brooker, of course, playing Jason in this movie, and he does a really great job. And you have, of course, this was the introduction of Jason's hockey mask. And you have a lot of really great kills in the movie, like the guy doing the handstand, and Jason comes in and swack right down the middle. Or you have the spear gun kill. Which that kill was really great. And you have the final showdown at the end of the movie between Jason and the final girl, Chris. That was really great. The 3D effects. If you watch the movie now, the 3D effects. I mean, yeah, don't really hold up now, probably as much as they did back in 1982. But however, still a pretty good Friday movie, despite its few issues. Still a pretty good Friday the 13th movie. Number 7. Number 7 for me is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 2, Sackhead Jason. The first time, of course, that Jason's actually the killer in this franchise going forward. Of course, aside from Friday 5. This is a really great sequel. Of course, you have some really great kills, like with the one guy getting the machete through the back of the head. Like that kill is really great. Like and this wheelchair go is like tumbling down the stairs. That kill's a great kill. You have the you have you have a really great final girl in here with Jenny and the showdown between her and Jason at the end where she puts on where she finds the Jason's mom's sweater, puts it on, but pretends to be his mom, which pretty much confuses him. And then, of course, Jenny, of course, gets the upper hand on him like that, and just now, yes, of course, the movie does end with another, you know, surprise jump scare, and pretty much that's what pretty much the first three Friday movies did to where like surprise jump scare and then it was all a dream ending, which sucks. But thankfully they stopped doing that after Friday 3, so yeah. Number 6 for me is Freddy versus Jason. This is a really great um movie. Pretty much everybody and their dang mother was hyped up to see this movie. I, of course, was way too young to see this movie back in 2003, and it sucks. But this was, of course, Robert England's final performance as Freddy, and he, of course, did a really great job in the movie once again. And you have Ken Kersinger in here. Yes, I know it's not Kane Hodder. So what? But yeah, you have Ken Kersinger in here as Jason, and he does a pretty good job. Of course, a lot of the kill scenes in here are really good. Like the one kill where Jason just stabbing the guy through the mattress and then folds the bed in half like a sandwich. Like that kill was really great. The one kill in here with the one kill that Freddy gets in the movie was really great as well. To where he pretty much sets the one lights the one guy up on fire like that. Like that was really cool. Of course, the one-liners in here from Freddy are all really great. Not I, again. This along this movie along with another movie that'll be way more up on the list is the perfect mix of scary Freddy and funny Freddy. So yeah, you have and of course, you can't talk about this movie without talking about the fight scenes between Freddy and Jason. You have the dream fight, which was a really good fight, and I actually do understand a lot of people's criticism of what Jason's not afraid of water; he's afraid of drowning. Well, actually, that's what Freddy pretty much wanted to. Again, Freddy is the type of villain that gets inside of your head, and now yeah, and yes, I do get the fact that why did Jason stop when he saw water? I get that, but it's like but it's like a way for Freddy to get the upper hand on him. It's not like he's again, like the movie, in my opinion, doesn't really make it look like he's afraid of water. It's just something that Freddy needed to get the upper hand on Jason during their dream fight. And of course, the big final showdown at the end of the movie, where Freddy gets pulled into the real world, and of course the fight at the end, the like the scene where Jason grabs Freddy and just slams him through the window a bunch of times, full on WWE wrestling style. And of course, you have their final fight, like on the construction site and on the Crystal Lake dock. That was really great. It was really bloody and gory, and I love it. And of course, you had the ending where Jason stabs Freddy with his own glove, and you had the scene where Freddy's beating the crap out of Jason with his own machete. And then, of course, you had the final girl in the movie, Laurie, cut off Freddy's head, and then you had the end of the movie where Jason comes up out of the lake holding Freddy's decapitated head. Freddy winks at the camera and laughs. I mean, seriously, if you really think about it, Freddy vs. Jason was pretty much Avengers Endgame before Avengers Endgame, where these, if you really think about it, that's what Freddy vs. Jason was. And so, yeah, I have an absolute blast every single time I rewatch Freddy vs. Jason. Still a damn good movie. I freaking love Freddy vs. Jason. Damn good movie. Damn good. And of course, the soundtrack. The soundtrack in the movie, really great. I mean, Ronnie Yu, the director of the movie, he of course did this and Bride of Chucky, and both of his movies. The soundtrack, frickin' banger. Frickin' banger soundtrack. So yeah, Freddy vs. Jason, you knew it would be this high for me on my list. Coming in at my number, let me see, I'm at 5. Yeah, 5. Number 5 for me, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This movie, aside from Michael's Mask, which is one of the worst in the franchise for sure, this movie is still a really great movie. Of course, you have Danielle Harrison here playing Jamie Lloyd, which having an actual little girl for Michael to go after, again, creepy, scary. And of course, you have Donald Pleasance return in the movie as Dr. Loomis, and he did a really great job. The kills in the movie are all really great, and the ending to Halloween 4 is awesome. To where Michael gets shot up and all that, and falls down like a well, and then the evil of Michael passes in from Michael to Jamie, and then you get that ending where she puts on that clown mask that Michael wore at the very, very beginning of the original 1978 movie. Stabs her foster mom with scissors, and then you get Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis going, no, just what a ballsy ending that I wish Halloween 5 didn't fuck up. And of course, you have one of the better final girls in the movie as well, with Rachel and Jamie's relation, kind of like that, foster sister kind of dynamic. Pretty much reminds me a lot of Kyle and Andy's relationship, kind of like that foster brother, foster sister dynamic that they had in Child's Play 2. And so yeah, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, damn good movie. Damn good. Let's see, am I at 4 now? Coming in at my number 4. Let's see. I think, yeah, 4. Coming in at my number 4 for me is going to be Friday the 13th, the final chapter, or Friday the 13th, part 4. Now, this movie is a really good Friday the 13th sequel. Um, it has really great it has really great kills in the movie, like the harpoon to the balls. That kill was really good. The opening kill in the movie where the one guy gets hacksaw wrapped around his neck and his head gets like like twisted around like that kill was great. Of course, you have Ted White in here betraying Jason, and he does a good job. Of course, this was the introduction of Tommy Jarvis, played by a very young Corey Feldman. And he does a really great job. And of course, the ending of the movie where where like Jason gets defeated and like the ending showdown in the movie between Jason, Trish, and Tommy, like that kill, that that ending of that ending showdown was really great, and of course the defeat of Jason where Tommy just smacks him right in the face with his own machete and then gets just freaking slides down right the middle of it, like oh damn good. So yeah, Friday the 13th, part 4, final chapter. Damn good movie. And now we've arrived at our top 3. No, wait, actually, no, wait. Wait, hold up. I think, no, wait, actually, top 4, I think. No, top 4. Now we've arrived at our top 4, actually. Yeah, top 4. And coming in at my number 4 for me, it's going to be um, Friday the 13th, 2009. That's right, the remake. You, of course, of course, Friday the 13th is not really known for its story, so this movie, of course, combines elements of like the first 4 movies into one. And of course, you have a fantastic Jason with Derek Mears. Derek Mears is, of course, my favorite actor to portray Jason. You have a lot of really great kills in the movie, like the screwdriver kill where he chokes the one guy out with the screwdriver, and he just keeps pushing it, pushing it, and pushing it, and it just you have the best like opening like 15 to like 20 minutes, like that is the best Friday the 13th anything. It's that opening like 10 to like 15 minutes, like, and the one girl gets like burned alive in her sleeping bag and you're like, oh shit. And of course, yes, there is the whole thing about everybody complaining about why did he take Whitney as a hostage. Look, guys, if she looks like his mom, then it makes total sense. Or like the other thing I always hear people complain about with this movie. Well, oh, Jason doesn't run. Have you seen Friday the 13th 2, 3, and 4? Like, seriously. He runs and knows, so why is everybody bitching that oh, Jason doesn't run in the when you, like, seriously, I would never understand that.
That's his clothes up there.
This is yours.
Or the other thing that I always hear people complain about, oh, there's too much nudity too much nudity in a Friday the 13th movie? Bro, like, seriously, I would never understand the complaints that the 2009 remake gets. Like, at all.
Oh, the black t-shirts.
There, guys. Grab me a drink. And of course, you have the ending of the movie where Jason gets the chain wrapped around his neck and put in that and the wood chipper chews him up. Similar, of course, to Halloween Ends. Then, of course, he gets put back into the lake, and then, of course, you get that final jump scare at the end of the movie. And yeah, I have very little, if not any, negatives with the Friday the 13th 2009 remake. It is still my favorite movie in the franchise. And so, yeah, Friday the 13th 2009. Okay. Number 3. Number 3, go on ahead and get your pitchforks and your revolvers loaded. Halloween. Oh, yes. 1978. Number 3 for me, Halloween 1978. Now, look, this movie was of course the introduction to everything involving Halloween. The introduction of Michael Myers, the introduction of Dr. Loomis, played by the late great Donald Pleasance, the introduction of Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, which just launched her into Scream Queen, legend royalty. Of course, this whole thing to where you have this kid that of course killed his sister on Halloween night, and then it's 20 years later, or 20 years later, he breaks out of a mental institution, and then of course, for the rest of the movie, he's stalking babysitters and stuff. Now, yes, the kills in the movie are definitely tame for 1978, but still very well effective movie, and the whole mystery angle surrounding Michael that John Carpenter brilliantly executed. Where he is just a motiveless evil in a mask. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. And then, of course, the introduction of that iconic score. Halloween 1978. Damn good movie. And again, that whole mystery of, like, again, you don't know, like, is this guy supernatural or is he just a regular human? And then, of course, at the end of the movie, where Dr. Loomis shoots him 6 times. That was more Arnold than Donald. That was more Arnold than Donald Pleasance, but where Dr. Loomis shoots Michael 6 times, and then he goes down to check and look sure if he's there, and he's gone. You get that iconic doo-doo-doo piece of music, and again, you don't know if he's full-on human or full-on supernatural, and that is what the beauty of what John Carpenter's original masterpiece, Halloween, pretty much was about. And if this was the only movie that we got in this franchise, it would be a pretty good standalone. But the fact that we did get a franchise out of Halloween, it's still pretty great as well. So yeah, the original Halloween 1978, pretty good. Number 2 for me is going to be Nightmare on Elm Street 1984. Yeah, yes, I do put this movie above the original Halloween because obviously my attachment to this franchise more. Because it is a big piece of who I am. Without Chucky and Freddy, you guys would not have me. So So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. I mean, what else can you say that hasn't already been said 1,000 times about the original Nightmare on Elm Street? There, um, uh, of course, the introduction of Robert Englund as Freddy, the introduction of this whole concept of a ki- of this killer that kills you in your dreams while you sleep, and you can't do anything to fight back. And of course, you have really great kills in the movie. Of course, you have that iconic bedroom scene. Of course, you have that iconic scene with where Tina's getting slowly dragged up the wall like this, and like really great, like really great job with that. And of course, you have Glenn, played by a very young Johnny Depp, who gets sucked down into his mattress, and then whoosh, a whole blood geyser, and you have no idea like what in the world just happened. Like, and of course, the final showdown at the end of the movie between Heather Langenkamp, Nancy, and Freddie. That whole thing at the end was really really great. Yes, the tacked on ending of the movie was, you could tell, was definitely forced. Wes Craven wanted it to be a kind of like a standalone, and of course the other guy wanted sequels, and so there was this, and so until of course they came to a compromise, and they pretty much did both. And so, yeah, yes, the tacked on ending where Nancy's mom gets pulled through the window with the very bad looking, blow up doll effect. Yeah, yeah, that. Aside from that, though, the original Nightmare on Elm Street is a classic and will always be a classic. But coming in at number one, with the Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. This is and always will be my favorite entry in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, my favorite installment. And so, you of course, first of all, the Dream Warriors themselves are all really, really great, and you're rooting for all of them, uh, to pretty much make it out of the situation alive. And you have of course, you have Heather Langenkamp, Nancy return in this movie to where, um, um, uh, of course, this is of course the perfect mix of scary Freddy and funny Freddy, where it stays darkly, where it stays within that um, um, dark tone, but you still get some humor here and there, not full on comedian, like on the like like the scene where he shows like he's got a whole like chest of like souls from different kids that he's killed, and like that was cool. And of course you have a really great kills in the movie as well, like the marionette puppet kill, the TV kill with one of the best one liners, welcome to prime time, bitch. Of course you have a really good ending as well, to where they pretty much got to go through. Well, Nancy's dad and his partner pretty much got to go through to like cemetery to like dig up Freddy's bones and like lay them to rest, and like with holy water, like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. It's a part of me. It's a part of me. This and Child's Play 2 are the reason why I am here right now in front of you all talking. So So that is it, guys. Let me know your ranking of the big three horror slasher franchises: Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th. Let me know your ranking down below in the comment section. And yeah, you guys, and we will discuss it down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe as always for more videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload brand new videos. And as always, and brand new live streams as well. And as always, you guys, don't forget to keep on slashing.